Hey guys, welcome back. I'm going to continue filling up my Z palette. This is the extra large Z palette. I've already depotted the Subculture palette from Anastasia and also the Tartlet palette from Tarte. And now I'm going to continue filling it up with some MAC Cosmetics. Now MAC is actually one of the most requested brands for us to depot. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to turn the Z potter on and I'm going to put it to level 3, which is that sweet spot. Then I'm going to take my little magnet that does come with every Z potter and I'm going to start testing to make sure if the MAC is magnetic or not magnetic. And I've got a few things here. I've got a MAC Prep and Prime powder. I've got a MAC Blot powder. I've got a MAC blush. And I've got 2 MAC eyeshadows that I'm going to depot today. So I'm going to take my magnet and stick it against, and I can see that because it's sticking, it's metal. So I know that I'm going to be able to set this directly on the Z potter. Z potter has induction technology, which means it responds directly to the metal pan. Now I'm going to take the same magnet and test the non-metal, and you can see that it's like sliding right off. So this is non-metal. And I'm going to do the same, not sticking, non-metal. Not sticking, that's non-metal, and this one's not sticking. So from my experience of depotting, I know that most MAC products are made in a non-metal pan. So you will need to use the metal plate that comes with the Z potter to handle those types of products. And what I always like to advise is if you have metal and you have non-metal, I always suggest doing the metal first. So that's what we're going to do, because that uses the induction technology prior to using the metal plate, which then will reverse the technology into creating basically a traditional heating device. So I'm going to show you one tip, which is with MAC products, you could place it directly on the Z potter, but I always like to make it a little bit simpler by taking the product and removing it from its packaging. That really helps make the process of depotting faster because it's a lot less packaging for the heat to work through. So I take my spatula and I use the pointy part and I basically just dig it in between the plastic that's surrounding the pan to remove it from the packaging. And I just kind of keep sliding it until you hear that click, which then I can remove the pan from the actual packaging and just set that directly onto the Z potter. That's a lot less packaging for that heat to go through, which makes it a lot faster. And I'm going to give it about a couple minutes. I just like to eyeball it. You know, it's not an exact science, so you just want to keep an eye on it. Patience is good when it comes to depotting. Take it out too quickly and you might crack the shadow. Just pop that out because the pan is hot. Set that aside in the cooling area, and then your packaging is pretty much still intact. And this doesn't really get hot, it's just the pan because again the Z potter induction technology responds to the metal pan. Another cool tip is if you want to remember what color it is that for future reference, you can put this on the heat as well and try to remove the sticker so that you can apply it right on the back of the powder pan. So that's nice for future reference. You could also take a Sharpie and just write on the back with the Sharpie, you know, Prep and Prime transparent pressed powder from MAC, and now you know what the color is for future reference.